people on the internet, we're a little quiet because we're in a doctor's office. Today's the day we hopefully find out what the heck's going on with me. We'll update you guys after the appointment. And Miss Rennie Roo is with us. She's just hanging out. How you doing, baby lady? Whoa. Don't freak her out. Change of setting here. We'll talk about me later. We had to come over to get Rensly's blood work done because one of the newborn screenings that they run came back as off. So she just got blood work done, and that was traumatizing for everybody, I think. Because they couldn't just do a heel prick, which I was hoping that's all it would be, but they had to actually like stick her. She did not like it.
No.
I did not like watching it.
She was getting upset, and I was like, oh wow, that they really started doing that quick. But no, they were just like preparing her, like getting her arm out, like wrapping the thing around her. Like, oh, man.
Crying.
Look at her arm, it's just so
red because they had to hold it straight for so long. And I was worried because, like, obviously we don't know if she has EDS. And so I was worried, like, that they would dislocate her arm because they had to hold it in one place. But her progesterone levels, I guess, were off. And she said, her pediatrician said, don't worry yet. Like, she said it came back borderline, I guess. Not, like, even just, like, positive. She said they don't give them a number, which is weird. Like, they just say whether it's, like, positive, borderline, or I don't know. They wanted to retest of it. So, we're retesting, and she said, don't worry yet, because she's thriving. Like, she's really not worried about it. So, I'm trying not to worry about it. But as far as I know, when I was looking into it, that particular test for, like, ACH, or I don't know, the progesterone one, what that tells them, has a pretty high percentage of, like, false positives. So, hopefully that's just the case. Happy lady, are you much happier now? Yeah. Are you much happier now? It's a little while later now. Rensly's much happier.
And we're back home.
I will let you guys know what the heck happened in my appointment, but I will fill you guys in at the end of the vlog. When I can sit down and pay attention to what I'm doing. These two are out here playing with their houses. These are still a hot commodity. Daddy. Yeah, get back in here, man. We're having leftovers tonight. The girls are having some leftover quesadilla kind of things that we got. And we're having leftover...
Kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, like, because they weren't really leftover quesadillas, though. They were leftover tortillas that we've made into quesadillas. And we're having leftover enchiladas.
We all having fun out here.
Yummy, yummy.
I think this weekend, some of the things that need to happen are I'm going to pull apart the wood wall. And we're going to get that insulation taken care of.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because then we can, like, have our garage back.
Yeah, instead of that taking up a quarter of the garage. And the girls not liking it. And we'll hang up the pegboard.
We have to frame it first, but yes.
That's super simple. And right now we can do this.
Oh, yes. So you tested it out, you pulled it off, and it was easy?
Yep, pulled off. Simple as
we got carpet tape. Our carpet's a mess right now.
That way, this does not happen, Greyson.
Daisy and Greyson were playing with a toy today, so there's fluff everywhere. Huh? Were you playing? You got a hold of what you weren't supposed to have a hold of, huh? Greyson's doing really good with his place, too.
Yep, he sure is.
He goes over there on his own sometimes now. And it's actually kind of humorous because when he does that, he forgets whether he put himself there or we put him there. And so then he'll like stand on the edge and he'll look at you, waiting for you to tell him to break because he doesn't know whether, I wasn't sure if he was gonna try to get off, but he didn't hear me. Waiting to like for you to tell him to BREAK because he's like not sure if like you put him there or he put himself there. So that's pretty humorous.
BRKE.
Huh?
I was thinking BRKE.
BREAK?
BRAKE.
That's a different kind.
I know.
Did I spell it wrong?
No, you spelled it right.
Oh, okay.
I'm just...
Anywho, so we tested out a piece of that carpet, whatever, rug tape. Carpet tape in a different place. This carpet tape was suggested by my sister because she works in the trade show industry. She said it's what they always use at the show. She said it works well, so.
I think it's doing good. It's doing its job. It's doing its job.
Yeah, me too, and Sissy.
Oh, so both of you weren't scared?
Yeah. The walls scared us.
The walls scared you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the house loud.
The house was loud?
And I should not want to go in there.
You didn't want to go in there?
No, and Sissy. And so I said really scared us and not want to go in there.
So you didn't go in the house, you just stayed outside?
Yeah. We went in the garage because it was loud.
You went in the garage because it was loud, but you didn't want to go in the house because it was loud?
Yeah. I'll put the house. I'll put the walls loud.
All of the walls were loud?
Yeah.
What was in the house that was loud?
A fan around in the wall. It wasn't too loud in there, and we got scared.
Oh, the fans were blowing on the walls.
Yeah, no, make our ears loud.
Oh, okay, made your ears loud.
Yeah, and Sissy so Grandma and Gaga hold our hands and hold us.
They held you? They picked you up? And they carried you?
Daddy!
What?
They hurt their ears.
No.
What? Can I have that?
What are you doing? Uh-oh, it's dropping.
Okay, it is now time to fill you guys on the not so fun that was my appointment today. So basically we walk in, my appointment was at noon, and it started off just bad off the bat because I was supposed to get in at noon. They didn't take us until 12:20, and I didn't see the doctor till almost 2. And we had to go get her blood work at her doctor after, and so it was just kind of a little stressful because I wanted to be able to breastfeed her while getting her blood work done. And she couldn't wait any longer, so I'd end up actually feeding her at the hematologist. So that was just a little bit stressful, being, you know, stuck in a doctor's office for like 2 hours with a newborn baby that, you know, doesn't want to be in there. So after that though, he came in and he was just very like annoyed almost, and he was just like, I don't know like why you're here, like I don't understand, you're here for a superficial blood clot. And like he was making me almost feel stupid for like being there. And I legitimately, like, I started crying because I was getting upset, and I said, you are the doctor, I am not the doctor, I don't know why I'm here, my doctor referred me to you, you guys should have talked. And I just like I didn't hold back on my feelings about him not knowing why I wasn't there. And he very quickly turned his attitude around and sat through and talked with me through everything, and I kind of understood where his frustration was coming in, because apparently my like OB didn't send him any information. Like basically just, you need to see this hematologist, basically like she needs to see you to have blood work done, and that was really it. He knew that I had the superficial blood clot like take over my left arm, but all he was basically seeing was I had a superficial blood clot like almost 3 months ago. Like that's all he's seeing. And so to him, he was like, I don't understand like why she's here now if it's fixed and it wasn't an issue. And so then he was like, are you here because you got a second one? And I told him like, she said I couldn't come in to get blood work until at least 8 weeks because it wouldn't be right. And so in the end, after all the conversations, one, all the blood work that I did, none of that was genetic disorder, like blood disorder screening, like none of that. And then like it's just like typical blood work you would take if like they were doing like a normal checkup on you, like a yearly checkup, like just normal blood work. That's what they ran. And so he basically said I should have seen him right away. I shouldn't have been told to wait. I should have seen a hematologist the minute I started having these issues. I wasn't on my blood thinners long enough. He said I should have been on them for at least 45 days when originally I was told 2 weeks, and then they pushed it out to 4 weeks, thankfully. She was like, well, it won't hurt to be on it for 4 weeks. I should have been on them for at least 45 days. And then he was mad because I think we talked about how I had that pain in my leg and I was limping. And when I went to the emergency room and they did the ultrasound on my arm, I told the emergency room doctor, I said, I don't know if this is related. I don't know if it's a blood clot in my leg, but the pain has gotten worse and I can't walk on my leg. And she was like, well, the chances of that being tied to your arm in any way or being a blood clot are so slim. So she didn't run an ultrasound on it. But the pain in my leg got better at the same progression as my arm. And so he said like there's a good chance that was, and it could have even been a deep vein thrombosis and not just superficial, especially because like obviously my leg is not tied to like my IV in my arm in any way. After that really long appointment of frustration on his end and my end, I got the actual blood work that I was told I was getting, which was the genetic blood disorder test, which was like 12 vials of blood, like a ridiculous amount. But it's actually surprisingly easy. I thought I'd be like a little bit lightheaded or something like that, but I wasn't at all. And so I got that done, so that's out of the way. But of course I have to wait longer for those results. And then he also wants me to get an ultrasound of my left arm, another ultrasound of my left arm, of my right arm, and of my leg, to see if he can see any remnants or signs of a blood clot still there or one that was there. I guess like they could still see some stuff, or I don't know. He thinks that it probably all just boils down to basically after you give birth and during pregnancy, you are more susceptible to blood clots. It's not that it's normal, but it's not uncommon, and it's not like anything to be worried about unless it's just something to keep an eye on for future pregnancies. And he said also for like surgeries, I guess, like big surgeries and stuff. So like he thinks the blood test will come back as normal and everything will be fine, and it's just likely due to you know, postpartum just being at higher risk. It just happened to be one of the not normal common few that end up with, you know, blood clots or whatever after giving birth. So we're gonna hope that, you know, that's the case here. You know, I've waited a long time to even see him and to find out what's going on, to go in and find out that, you know, he was saying I should have seen him from the beginning. I shouldn't have been told that I couldn't see him right away, and I should have been under hematologist care right away, and then he would have been able to properly make sure that everything was looked at and not ignored. And so, you know, frustrating, but also was nice to hear him say that like he thinks that it's likely just due to the pregnancy of postpartum, just sometimes it happens for people. So yeah, what ended up is a very frustrating appointment and me not liking this doctor at all with how he approached things, ended with a very good understanding of the next steps that we're taking, and basically just miscommunication with doctors, and you know, doctors that aren't hematologists trying to handle hematology type things. And in my OB's defense, she did try to call to talk to him a couple times about what to do, especially when I got the second one in the other arm. And he did not call back. So I think there's just some wrongdoing on both sides, unfortunately. It wasn't the most fun to the beginning, but I was just glad to walk out of there with like a clear idea of what we're doing next, and not leaving still with just like no answers and just frustration. Don't get me wrong, I did leave frustrated still, but you know, we had a clear plan in place. This little one is doing much better than earlier. I felt so bad that they couldn't just do a heel prick. I really thought that they would end up just doing a heel prick, but they had to like do actual blood. And so I felt so bad because obviously that took a while to like find her vein, and then they didn't get it right away, so they had to like move the needle around. And I know like when that happens with me, it hurts a lot and it's not comfortable. And so I felt so bad that that happened with her, but they only did have to stick her once, but then obviously they had to move it around to find the vein. But I was just glad they didn't have to stick her more than once. I'm sorry, honey. We're just gonna hope that all the tests come back normal, okay? Well, one test. Just one test, okay? Well, that is going to be it for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even though it feels kind of weird to say enjoying people getting blood taken. But if you did, give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and we will see your wonderful faces on Saturday. Bye.